When we're solving by elimination or substitution, the numbers don't always work out. Now, questions like this, a lot of people would be tempted to try to rearrange it to use substitution when actually these are a lot easier to just use elimination and kind of work around the numbers you're given. There's a few different ways we could look at it, but for the first one, we're just using decimals. So there's no sense in trying to make this harder than it needs to be. All we need to do is look at the numbers in front and try to think that we're going to have to multiply everything here by 10 to make it a nice whole number. So we could look at our y's and multiply everything out by some factor of 10 first and then work with them. Or we could just try to make almost like a common denominator and work through it that way. So if I was looking at this question here, if I wanted to, I could make everything some multiple of 10. So I could make this, I'm going to kind of just move down like this and move below. So 2x minus 3y equals negative 1. And then I could move this one down here and have 5x minus 4y equals 8. Now we're still not actually in the clear here because none of our numbers line up. But if I take this one and multiply this whole thing by, let's say, 5, and this whole thing by 2, well, what I've done is now I'm just multiplying by the opposite value in front here. And I could have done that originally. I just like to work with whole numbers. You're going to get the same answer. You don't have to work with whole numbers. You can definitely work with decimals. I'm just kind of doing it the slow, easy way. This is going to be then 10x minus 15y equals negative 5. Multiply everything by 5. And then down here, I'm going to get 10x minus 8y equals 16. Multiply everything by 2. We get 1 and 2. And I'm going to do 1 minus 2 because the signs are the same. My x's go away. Negative 15 minus negative 8 is negative 15 plus 8. So I get negative 7y. Then I get negative 5 minus 16 is negative 21. So y is going to equal to 3. And now I can sub that into any of my equations. I'll sub it into 1. So sub into 1. We get 10x minus 15 times 3 equals negative 5. We're going to get 10x. 15 times 3 is 45. So that added to the other side is going to give me 40. And x is going to be equal to 4. So therefore, our point of intersection, which is what we're always finding, is 4, 3. I'm going to work on the next one on the next page. So this one, similar to what we've just done, all we're going to do is change what it looks like. So I'm going to multiply everything in the first fraction by 4. So this would all multiply by 4. Everything here is going to multiply by 5. And everything here is going to multiply by everything. So really what I'm doing is I'm multiplying by 20 in each case. 20 here, which divides down to 4. 20 here, which divides down to 5. And 20 here. So I've multiplied my whole equation by 20. So then that's going to give me 4m minus 12. That whole first, actually, I'll write it out. I'll do a couple of steps here. So 4 times m minus 3 plus 5 times n minus, or plus 2 equals 20. And we're going to move across again. We're going to do some more stuff. So I'll try to write a little smaller. Same thing down on the next one. We're going to multiply everything by 6 to get rid of my fractions. So that's going to be 2 times m plus 4. Because when we do our 6 here, it reduces down to 2. When we do our 6 here, it's going to reduce down to 3. And our 6 here would just stay. So we're going to get 3, and then that's n minus 3 equals 12. So now when we look at this, we've got 4m. So I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to write it a little smaller. 4m minus 12 plus 5n plus 10 equals 20. And then here we've got 2m plus 8 plus 3n minus 9 equals 12. Simplifying all that, which again, this is just a long question. There's not any hard math to it though. We're leaving our variables on one side. We're moving everything over to the other side. And this is just going to be adding 2. So we're going to get 22 because 12 and 10 gives us our 2. And then we've got 2m plus 3n equals 13. So now I'm going to write those a little bigger here. So 4m plus 5n equals 22. 2m plus 3n equals 13. All I'm going to do is multiply the second equation by 2 to get rid of my m's. So this one's just going to stay the same. I'm just going to rewrite it so they're lined up nice and you can see exactly what I'm doing. Here though, we're going to multiply by 2. So we get 4m plus 6n equals 26. We're going to have 1 and 2. We're going to do 1 minus 2. We're going to get negative n equals negative 4, n equals 4. Sub that back into 1. 4m plus 5 times 4 equals 22. We get 4m equals 2. M equals 1/2. And therefore, even though they're not x and y, we can still write this as 1/2 and 4. Just write it alphabetically. I'm not sure if I wrote it in the first one. Yeah, I definitely did. This last one, you're going to explain your thought process to me. So what we're going to be doing is we're moving on to looking at some problems. You need to include your equations. So identify your variables. Just tell me how you would solve it. You're not going to go through and actually solve it, and we'll take this up in class.